is, oh yes, the great lunar eclipse, bringing opportunities for the soul. All right, just 1 second. All right. As most of you know, or all of you, we are experiencing one of the greatest lunar eclipse and full moons of our of this century. And so, what does this mean? This moon represents many things. It represents the feminine energy, our psychic ability, our nurturing, our emotional body. And so, what is happening to most of us right now is that we're really feeling the past traumas, emotions, experiences bubbling up to the surface. And where we are in consciousness is how we will respond to these emotions, to these experiences that occurred not only in the past of this lifetime, but many lifetimes ago. Some may respond with patience, with understanding. Some may respond with frustration, with rage, with anger, even abuse. And they found, and I know this is old news, but they found that many women in prison, their menstrual cycles are very close to the full moon. And so a lot of their crimes of passion occurred during then. And there are many things that human beings blame on the eclipse, and blame on the full moon, and blame on the outer. But we don't realize, or humanity on the whole doesn't have this greater understanding that God is good. And if all things are God, if all is God, then all is for the good. And some of us may know it up here in our heads, but have difficulty understanding that in our hearts. What this does when our emotions start bubbling to the surface, or the past starts bubbling and starts agitating us, most of us don't realize at the moment, in the now, that we have tools that we can use. First of all, this great lunar eclipse is creating a great emotional healing for humanity. It is a time where there is forgiveness. This is a time where we can actively and really tactily experience the spirit of forgiveness and understanding. We can merge with that, for it is a being, it is that is pervasive throughout all creation. And to merge with this, we become that. And the healing begins. One of our greatest dis-ease is poor self-image or lack of self-worth. Many people feel they don't deserve. Many people feel they deserve the punishment for whatever sins have been committed in the past. We don't realize that the struggles that we are experiencing, that this anger or this, the jealousy or all these, what we call the rage, the abuse, and so on and so forth that we feel, that it is an opportunity for us to heal. We cannot heal unless we recognize the cause or what is looming in front of us, not necessarily the cause, and know that too is an entity, and that too has a job, the rage and the anger. Its job is not to defeat us, but to create an environment for us to succeed, to strengthen, to show our courage. We are diamonds in the rough. Through the pressure and the anxiety that these so-called negative entities we think create, which we create, these pressures create a fabulous sparkling diamond, faceted and polished. So through our struggles, through our trials, through the traumas, we can really shine, we can really sparkle. We can have our self-realization. We can see that we truly, truly deserve a good life, for God is good, a life of God. The third thing, or third tool, and third thing that is happening for humanity is the balancing of the masculine and feminine energy. Many of us have experienced living in a masculine dominated world, be it by a male or female. Females can also be very dominating. And so the world is bringing up the power of the feminine. So it is like a pendulum. And it is almost like this power of the feminine is being interpreted as masculine energy. You have to be aggressive. You have to fight for what you want and what you deserve. Rather than nurturing this feminine creative power, this feminine visionary power, this feminine idealistic power. So the moon brings out this power, this nurturing, idealistic, creative power, this time of the full moon. And It takes the masculine energy, this assertive energy, to take action in the creative ideas, in the idealism, to take action in this peace, in this world, this nurturing power. So it's important that we balance within us and recognize that they both exist within us, the male and the female energies. So how do we bring about this? It's through this peace, this inner peace. We all, well, most of us say we want world peace. And most of us are raging inside, are angry. Well, we cannot have world peace if we don't have inner peace. As we know, it comes from within. We cannot have world peace if we're constantly judging our enemies. And our enemies can be within our own family, our own group, ourself. World peace comes from inner peace. And when we have inner peace, it opens up our soul to receive great gifts, great powers from the Almighty Source of all sources. So how do we achieve this inner peace? We say, oh, we must be in the now. We must meditate to be in the now. We must meditate for hours to be in the now. Not necessarily so. We, as human beings, live and operate in linear time. We have a past, present, future. And we think linearly. When we describe something, it immediately puts us in the past, as we've shared before, but we don't realize at the time, at the moment that we're describing, that we're past oriented, because we're so in it. We associate everything what's going on from our past experiences. Our perspective comes from the past. That is why everything that we do is already past. And it reflects into the future, and it becomes probability that it will happen again in the future. This is how we live. You're always doing that. You're always saying that. You're always thinking that. How many times have we heard our parents or teachers say that to us or to students? You always. So more than likely, the child, student, even an adult will continue to do it. Acting out of the subconscious and to please. That's right. To be right. We always want to be right. We don't like being wrong. What is happening now with this, we call it the Aquarian moon, blue moon. There's many names for this full moon. It's opened up a gateway for great beings to plant seeds, to come here on earth, in earth, to experience mortal life and to bring this higher vibration, this higher consciousness to humanity. Some say it's being brought in by the indigo children, the crystal children, and so on and so forth. But a lot of these beings will never be recognized or noticed by us. They could be the beggar on the street. They could be the person who flipped you off on the highway. They could be the person who yelled obscenities to you. You may see them again or never see them again. But their job is to help purify and detoxify us. Of course, they're great beings who come and uplift us. In fact, they all come to uplift us, to raise our vibration. And this is a great sacrifice. And here we go about moping and judging. So and so did this to me. This stranger gave me that evil eye. This stranger helped me. This stranger helped me realize, so on and so forth. So, again, back to peace. Well, before we get to that, linear time. We live in a linear time consciousness, and it has a certain vibration. Living in the now has another vibration, a higher vibration. The now encircles linear time. However, these circles do intersect. And when they intersect, they create a crossroads, choices for us. But this is the potential for whatever we want to create. The linear time is our day-to-day experience, how we perceive the world. Living in what time is, living in now, there is no time. We are able to perceive in the now everything in the past. We know everything about the past. We see the probabilities and know the probabilities of the future by living in the now. So how do we create peace within us? What do we do when we meditate? What do we do when peace is created? Or anything, how do we manifest anything that we desire? We must be able to, and God bless us, to put one foot in the linear world as well as one foot in the now. This is where they intersect, the now and linear time. If we're completely in the now, we are completely observing. We are not taking action. To take action and manifest, we must have one foot in linear time. It can be a tricky, tricky proposition. So this is why we say take your meditation out. Walk in meditation. And all these sayings. And in this retreat that we're having, this is what we will practice and experience. This is why we say, once you ask God for something, we have to do whatever we can to bring that situation, to bring everything about for it to manifest. But the very nth has to be in the now. That's when we let go and let God. It takes faith. It takes a belief, a change of perspective. So yes, let go, let God. Believe that it is. Open up your heart and soul to the higher vibrations. Therefore, miracles will happen. And you will see what is meant by the all possibility. Let us prepare ourselves for deep level meditation.